Nick, do you remember watching the Tennessee game with South Carolina last year at all, or was this not even on your radar at that point?
I know they obviously played at night. I didn't watch it because I was obviously in the middle of my season, but that's last year's team for both us and Tennessee, and so I don't know how much of an impact that'll have on this one.
Yeah, I mean, just have you heard from the team? I know Coach Beamer talked about it today in your meeting and everything about just kind of what that win meant to the program last year.
Yeah, I think we're trying to focus on this year. Obviously it was a great win for the program, but we're trying to focus on this week, this year's team, and the opponent we're facing this week.
Nick, you got a good big tree story?
No. out of respect for both of us now.
Yeah. No. And obviously him and Tro Ball have played a lot on this offensive line the last couple weeks. What about them, their mentality, their skill set allows them to be 18, 19 years old and going out there and playing against grown men in this conference on the offensive line?
Yeah, I think the O&D line is the position that you probably hear the most. Like, hey, young guys can't really step in, especially in a conference like ours, and perform. And the two of them have, they came in June, I think, and they've continued to get better, since they've been here. And so to be able to go out there and play well, both of them have played really well. It's really great to see.
You've played a lot of football. This offense, all 4 weeks, has started fast, long touchdown drives. In your mind, what makes an offense start fast, and what's the key to that?
I think it's a multitude of things. A portion of its game plan, a portion of its mindset, and execution. That's what it comes down to. We got the calls, we got the protections, and obviously Spencer and Xavier have a little connection going to make those big plays.
Yeah, Nick, you mentioned that you guys have been clicking as an offensive line. How great was it to see all of that lead to you guys having your best rushing night over the weekend?
I think the standard in the room is high, and so I don't think we're anywhere close to where we want to be and where we need to be. It was great to see some positive plays and the trust from Coach Loggins and Coach Teasley to continue to run the ball during the game. It felt like for the first time all season we were able to establish a run game. And so we were fired up about it, and now we got to continue to get better moving forward.
Nick, we often hear just how the run game can open up the passing game, but from your perspective as an offensive lineman, what does that look like when you're able to run the football, and then obviously you're able to have a quarterback like Rattler doing what he did the other night?
Yeah, if you watch the film, we were denting the defense, like I said, for the first time all year. We were getting movements on 3-techs, and we were running wide zone pretty well. And obviously what that does, the defense linebackers have to come down, safeties have to come down, and opens up opportunities for Spencer.
Y'all obviously work close with the running backs. Just what kind of pride do you take in seeing Mario go out there and have the game he did?
Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to Mario, right? He game 4, he hadn't seen many touches prior, and to continue to work and continue to be a great teammate, and then take advantage when his opportunities came. You got to commend a guy like that, and then also the other two running backs, DK and DJ, for continuing to support and contribute when their numbers were called as well.
We've talked a lot about the environment that Tennessee has on the road, and having Tro and Tree both get experience in Athens of what a road SEC game is like in that noise level. How much more confident are you in their ability to adapt in Knoxville this weekend?
I want to make sure I don't give any bulletin board material and say I saw what Coach Smart did to Tonka's quote, right? They've obviously had 2 road games now, one in Charlotte and one in Georgia, and hopefully that'll make them more comfortable, and me as well. It's my first time playing in Neyland, so I'm gonna continue to hone in on things that we do in a loud environment and hopefully perform.
Nick, you've obviously known Coach Loggins now since you arrived in January or whenever it was. But now that you've been with him for a month in season, see how he installs game plans, how he calls games. What's your impressions of him and his kind of command of this offense and leading it from week to week?
He obviously has total command, and what you want from a coach is you want them to earn the trust and respect of the players. And without a doubt, Coach Loggins has total trust and respect from everyone in the offensive room. He's put together great game plans and gave us opportunities to go out and execute and win games.
Yeah, man, going back to Mario, how have you seen him grow over the last few weeks? And then going back to his touchdown the other night, Rashawn mentioned that he was pretty shocked at how Mario reacted. Were you surprised at how excited he was after he scored?
No, I was fired up too. I saw that video on Twitter of him screaming. That was pretty funny. But he's just put in so much work since we got here in January. We got here at the same time, and I remember him doing extra on off days in the summer and prepping for his opportunity. And you see some guys, when they get their moment, they go out and take advantage of it. And he got his moment and took advantage.
Nick, your quarterback has been putting together a pretty special year so far. How much does that motivate you guys to elevate your play that much more?
I don't know about motivate to do more. It's incredible to see what he's been able to do. And it just gives confidence to the entire room, right? You know, Seven's going to go out there and perform week in and week out, and he's shown that he could do that.
Sticking with him, when he doesn't run the ball a lot, obviously, but on the handful of times, whether it's a scramble on third down or like to play the start of the fourth quarter, he said he improvised. What's that like as a lineman when you're blocking and things just kind of change because he's decided to take off? How strange is that in the moment when he sort of pops one like that?
The first thing that goes through a lineman's head is to let go of the D lineman, because that's when you get your holding calls, right? He goes out of the pocket or he climbs vertical and you got your hands on him like this. But he's taken advantage of coverages, and there's certain opportunities for him when the defense is playing light in the box to get out and run, and he's shown he's got a little speed to him, right?
Nick, obviously, after week one, it was real easy, for people to look at the offensive line and say whatever they wanted about that. Not just talking about the players, but Lonnie Teasley and the job that he's been able to do with Dell to be able to correct things as quickly as he's done. Can you kind of share some of the stuff behind the scenes as far as what Lonnie's been able to do to help you guys get the ship headed in the right direction?
I don't know if much has changed. I feel like every game that we've went into so far, we've been prepared in every aspect. I think he's done an excellent job preparing us, and at times we didn't go out there and execute for him and for the rest of the room. He always says the work is the magic, right? And so continue every week to do the tedious routine actions to try and improve and get better.
Nick, this Tennessee front's really good about creating pressure, getting after a quarterback. What challenge have you seen on film from them, and how do you kind of prepare for a team that can really get after a quarterback?
They have really good D tackles. They have really good D ends. Their linebackers are really good as well. Probably the best front. The best front we're going to face all year. Actually, hold on. Let me backtrack that statement. The best front we've played all year. And we just got to go prepare and execute our game plan.
Hey, Nick, with the atmosphere coming up at Neyland Stadium, 100,000 plus people, it's going to be really loud, going to be hard to communicate along the offensive line. You got a lot of young guys on the offensive line. How important is it to not beat yourself with penalties when you might not be able to communicate as much as you might want to? Yeah,
I think you saw how it hurt us in the Georgia game. I think we had 8 pre-snap penalties. I think we had 8 penalties and 6 of them were pre-snap. I had one as well. You can't do that. You can't limit yourself to a 1st and 15. And then that shrinks the game plan or the play calling down to obvious passing down. So you want to stay ahead of the chains and, not beat yourself, as you said.
Nick, what was the biggest crowd you played in front of at Yale?
Harvard, Yale. the game when we would play at home would get 60,000. The Bowl had 60,000. Thank you guys.